Check, check, check. How do I am coming out in the speakers to me hearing it?
Hey everybody, it's Rogue Wildy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to defeat Skarrsinger Karmelita. For this fight I'm using the Wanderer Crest. I've got the Fractured Mask, Conch Cutter, and Injector Bands attached, and for my supplementary tools I have the Longclaw and the Weighted Belt. This is a very fast-paced battle, and you're going to probably need at least 10 tries just to kind of get the attack patterns down. If you're not familiar with how to access this fight, you are going to need to be in Act 3, and I'll be posting a video on how to get to Act 3 here in a couple of days, so just wait for that and subscribe so you don't miss it. But as soon as the fight starts here, you're going to encounter a couple of enemies here. These ones you will have seen in the past, and you're going to have to complete this arena before you actually get onto the ultimate fight with Skarrsinger Karmelita. That's one of the more annoying aspects of this fight, because you're going to fail quite a few times and you're going to have to do this over and over and over again. Sometimes you won't even make it to the boss because you'll die in the very beginning while you're fighting the enemies that aren't even coming before the main event. So, these are the first new enemies that I've seen in this arena here. They're not too difficult, but they are annoying, and if you can get above them, pogoing off of them with the Wanderer Crest is nice. Also, as this fight starts, you're going to want to charge up and get in your first quick hit, because that's the only freebie you're going to get for this fight. All in all, my tactic is to wait for her to move, and then while she's recovering, I'll get my hits in. Don't get too greedy. You can see it happens to me a couple times where I try to get in 3 hits. Really, 1 or 2 is about as good as you can hope for, unless you're already recovering from taking damage. The amount of time between attacks gets shorter and shorter as the fight progresses, so the Wanderer Crest is good for getting in the most quick strikes. I've tried pretty much every other crest, and I wasn't able to beat her with any of the other ones. So I would say, I mean, just based on my experience, this is probably going to be the best one for you. Also, what's nice about this fight is because it's technically happening in a dream or a memory, you don't have to use any shell shards when you're replacing your tools. So use up those tools. I didn't do it in this fight, but I did do it in tries before, and it was helpful in whittling her down for the later stages. I think I was just so focused on getting my hits in for this one that I kind of forgot that I even had the conch cutters equipped. I think I only use it once in this fight, but just try to keep a cool head and try to do your best. Whenever you take any kind of damage and you see an opening, if you've got the silk, just go ahead and bind. I wouldn't worry about using the silk skills too much against her. It might be helpful for speeding along the fight, but in terms of actually doing damage to her, I would reserve that for healing yourself, because you're probably going to take quite a few hits while you're going up against her. And if you're like me, you'll probably end this fight with 1 or 2 masks to spare. So just be conscientious of how much silk you have and what you have to spare, because you're always going to want to have a reserve bind in your back pocket in case things get a little sketchy. But I'm coming here to the end of the fight now. You can see as the fight progresses, her attacks start to double. She's going to throw 2 blades at you instead of just the 1. But just try to keep calm, telegraph those hits. Everything, when she's going up in the air, she's going to be throwing those spikes down, so just try to get ready for that. As she kind of dashes across the screen, you're going to need to get nice and high. I use the pin throw a little bit in some of my other attempts, and that seems to be helpful. But that's all there is to it. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you very much for watching, and if you found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future content. I'll be uploading more tutorials over the next few weeks, and I'd love for you to join me live on Twitch, where I share gameplay, tips, and behind-the-scenes practice. You can just look me up. My handle is Rogue Wildy, just like here. Drop a comment also and let me know what you're currently working with or struggling on. That way I can help and make sure you get the tutorials you need to cover what you need in the future. So I'll see you in the next one.